Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new short movie. I know it's been quite a while since I uploaded one, so I wanted to upload one. So I hope you like this one. The story name is What If Naruto Became an Emperor? Yeah, before continuing this, I would like to ask you guys for a suggestion. Some of you guys have been requesting me for a long time that I upload the next part or make a movie out of What If Naruto turned into a girl, and I'm thinking of it. So yeah, comment down below what shall be the ship. Should it be a girl on girl or boy x girl ship, because Naruto is going to be a female in this one. And not only that, yeah, thinking of starting a new series as well. And don't worry about Kushina being the Nine Tails one, that movie will be coming soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you like the content of this channel, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. Our story begins at night time in Konohagakure no Sato, as we see Naruto, who was sleeping in his room, as he heard a knock on the door. He got up, as he reluctantly dragged his feet across the floor to open the door. It was Inanbu. Naruto Uzumaki, you have been summoned by the Hokage and the council. What? Seriously, now? Yes. As Naruto then said, okay, I'll be there in a minute. It's urgent. Please get prepared, we are leaving now. As Naruto reluctantly groaned and put on his clothes and jumpsuit, as the Anbu sanctioned alongside him to the council chambers. Naruto found it odd that the council chamber was completely empty except that his friends, his sensei Yamato sensei, alongside with his teammate Sakura, and the elders alongside his Bachan were there. As Naruto asked, "What is it, Bachan? Why did you summon me?" "Naruto Uzumaki, Genin of Konoha. You are hereby charged on murder attempt on the Raikage of Kumogakure." "Wait, what?" "But I was just sleeping. I was on a long time mission with Kakashi Sensei and Yamato." "Yeah, it's true, but you could have used the Shadow Clone." "Wait, what? What do you mean I could have used the Shadow Clone? You do know that one punch can, well, pretty much poof away the Shadow Clone," Naruto said, in defiance of his own self. As Naruto's friend then looked at him in betrayal. "How could you do that, Naruto? What took over you to do that?" "Wait, what? What do you mean what took over me? I never did anything." As Naruto had enough, as he was about to leave, he was stopped by Yamato as he used wood style to bind him, both his hands behind his back, as Naruto was on his knees inside a wooden cage. As Naruto moved forward, as she removed his headband, "You are hereby sentenced to the blood prison, where you will remain until you are proven innocent. And you are hereby removed from Konoha's roster of active shinobi duty and of Konoha as whole." Naruto's eyes widened. He wasn't that stupid, even if he acted like a childish knucklehead ninja. Tsunade was basically saying that he was banished from Konoha. You cannot do that, Bachan." "Silence. Refer to me as Hokage, Genin." "But Bachan, I never did that. Do I have to repeat myself here?" As Naruto was quite surprised by her outburst, as Naruto flinched as he looked towards his friends and sensei, who looked away from him. Naruto's eyes widened. Why wouldn't anyone believe him? He goddamn rescued this village and this is how they repay him? Naruto then shook his head. Someone was impersonating him, and he was going to find out one way or another. Reluctantly, in the shadow of night, Naruto was taken away from Konoha. The next morning, Naruto's eyes shot up as he was delivered to the blood prison, where he met the, prison guard, Maui, who put a seal on him that was of blood prison. He couldn't use chakra there, and whenever he wanted, the seal will burn. Naruto didn't know why was he there, but he was going to find out whoever impersonated him, and he was going to do that fast. But he had to get out of here first. He tried to prove them over and over again that he was innocent, but nobody believed him. As Naruto was sitting in his cell, the dark cell, on a threatening wing, as he heard a voice from other. "Stop doing that." Now you might ask what he was doing. He was trying to dig a hole. "How come you know what I'm doing?" "Silence," said a guard, who walked away, leaving the two alone. "You only put yourself in danger more and hurt yourself in the process. They will find you." "But I have to get out of here. Someone is impersonating me. And I can't believe it. Nobody, not even my friends, and precious people believed in me when I tried to protect myself. Heck, even my sensei, who I was on a mission with when that happened, didn't believe in me. Sounds like they didn't trust you one bit. And you call them precious people, but it looks like it was one-sided, kid. Even if they were precious to you, seems like you weren't precious to them. Naruto's eyes widened when he realized that. You wouldn't know that, he said. Come on, kid, wake up to reality, said a voice from the other side. You know that whenever you give your something as a whole to someone, he will see you as a precious person. But those who only find you useful and as a tool will exploit you, and when they are done and take whatever they wanted, they will throw you away, said the voice, as Naruto halted his escape route and just sat there, thinking and reminiscing on his previous years in Konohagakure. Nobody ever was there for him. Why? Naruto knew of his father, who he saw in the seal when the Kyuubi was trying to take over him. What the hell was going on? Why wasn't he taken care of as his father wanted? Naruto just sat there and thought deeply. On to the other side, in Konoha, they had figured out what was wrong in the blood prison. It was the prison guard himself, Mui, who wanted to unlock that box, who will grant the Rice country the power they once had to take over the elemental nations, as they all were rushing towards the blood prison because it was time to get Naruto out of it. They all knew that it was a plan, and they couldn't trust Naruto with it because of his big mouth. And they all thought that with a little bit of ramen, Naruto will be persuaded back to Konoha. Why wouldn't he? We were all his precious people, or so they thought. As when they came inside of the blood prison, their eyes widened. It was smoke everywhere, and the blood prison itself was destroyed. As they entered, they saw that every prisoner there was dead, killed off. And the beast was being fought by one of the persons, as the sight was with a person with blonde hair and orange pigments around his eyes. Naruto, everyone said as Naruto looked towards them, but with a blank face, until he looked back with rage as he kicked the giant beast away. As everyone jumped towards him, as Tsunade saw that he was injured and moved towards, and nodded to Sakura, who moved towards him to heal him. As Naruto jumped away, "Stay away from me," Naruto said, as everyone flinched at his voice. What do you mean, Naruto?" said Ino, a little bit angry. "Yeah, you baka, you're injured, we need to heal you," Sakura said. "Shut the fuck up and stay away from me, you bimbo," Naruto said, in rage. As Sakura's eyes widened, as everyone else. What was wrong with Naruto? As Tsunade then said, "Naruto, is this how you were supposed to talk to your teammate? What kind of teammate? You are nothing to me, as I was nothing to you. Stay the hell away, it is my fight. I'll be done with it in no time," Naruto said as he launched a giant Rasen Shuriken at the beast, destroying it completely. It was much bigger than his attack on Pain. As the beast was destroyed, it started to reform. Before it was completely reformed, Naruto kicked it within his sage powers inside the box, as the box was once again sealed and locked away. As Naruto jumped down, panting heavily. As the smoke cleared, Naruto was standing in front of the giant box, as everyone rushed towards him. As Naruto turned back and glared at everyone, which caused everyone to flinch. "Naruto, what the hell is wrong with you?" "What the hell is wrong with me? After 3 months of this hell, and you ask what the hell is wrong with me? No, I don't blame you. You weren't even there for me, were you? All my life, you used me. You played me. But not anymore. My eyes are open. I have seen what is worth. What my worth is in your eyes, and it is nothing. And from this day forward, Konoha and you all are worth nothing in my eyes. Naruto, you can't do that." "I can and I will. You banished me from Konoha, Tsunade," Naruto said. "Or don't you remember? And don't worry about the toads. They all agree with me," Naruto said as he was about to leave. As then Tsunade then said, dropping another bomb. But what about your parents? What about them? They're dead, aren't they? You see, Naruto, they were alive. Your sister, she had a condition. They had to move away and hide. As everyone looked towards Tsunade, as if she was crazy, and Naruto turned back. Don't joke around about them, Tsunade. They're dead. At least respect this much about them. I'm not lying. They were blood clones. You see, they are alive. Your younger sister, she had a condition. That is why they had to leave you here. Because they knew you will survive and will be seen as a hero. So much for that. And thank you for telling me that my so-called family is alive as well. If they ever try to visit Konoha back, tell them, never look for me. Because they will not meet their son. But something else that you all feared. Naruto said, as he was about to leave, before Yamato grabbed him as he poofed away. Their eyes widened. When did Naruto switch with a clone? Damn it. They had to return back. As everyone along the way back was solemn. They had betrayed Naruto's trust, and Naruto had enough with them. It looks like it was Naruto's breaking point. They weren't there for him when he needed them the most. So why would he be there for them now? As Kiba then said, damn it, I told you this plan wouldn't work. We know, Kiba. Yeah, now you know, because he's mad. And we don't know for how much long. It's Naruto, said Ino. He'll come around, I'm sure of it. As Hinata then said, no he won't. What do you mean, Hinata? Didn't you see that? That look in his eyes. He looked at us in disgust. He looked at us as he stopped at Kakashi pushed in, like the villagers looked at him when he was younger. As we are some kind of monster, dirt that didn't belong in his life. As Kakashi dropped his head. As they all entered Konoha, as the state leave went towards the council chambers, as Tsunade asked, call for an council meeting, and delivered this letter to Mount Miyaboku. Said Tsunade to Toad, who was there. It seems Naruto isn't here yet. It seems. Yes, Fukusaka-sama. It seems that he isn't here. Well, I guess Naruto boy made his choice, and we will follow him. I will deliver this to Minato, and we will break off our contract with him. Are you sure about this? Tsunade asked with a surprise. I mean, he was your second summoner. Even if he was, he broke the vow. What Jiraiya boy stand for. Tsunade, us Toads believe in the same aspects as Uzumaki's, family before all. And Minato left Naruto boy here, in hell. We heard Naruto's stories how he grew up here, all by himself, before he came here to rescue you all from pain. As Tsunade nodded, she now regretted herself for making that decision, but she should have told Naruto because now she saw the consequences of her actions. As the council gathered, as one of the civilians asked, So Tsunade-sama, why have you called us here? In due time everything will be revealed. Just sit still for now. As then suddenly in a yellow flash, Minato, Kushina, and a little girl with red hair and yellow streaks arrived. What is the meaning of this, Kushina? Well, our fears came true. Naruto doesn't want to do anything with Konoha anymore. As then, Danzo rose an eyebrow. What do you mean, Tsunade? Well, you see, Tsunade began to explain how she sent Naruto on a mission without telling him into the blood prison, as they all blamed him for, well, killing the Kumo Raikage, and Naruto, well, now didn't want anything to do with them, and looked at us in disgust and all. After Tsunade was finished explaining to everyone what had occurred, their eyes were widened. It seems it's the other way around now. We have to prove our worth to Naruto, said a civilian. I mean, the Gaki always wanted to be Hokage. We can offer him the position when he returns. But we don't know where he is. As both Minato and Kushina looked, does he know about us? Yes, he knows. And he told me to specifically tell you that. Don't cross his paths or there'll be hell to pay. He said to both of you, and he also said this. He doesn't want Namikaze and the Uzumaki name anymore. Clearly, because both of you couldn't stand with your own clan morals. So he doesn't want to be the part of any of this clan. And with that said, he left. We don't know when he replaced himself with a clone. He was battling the monster that escaped the box of paradise before he sealed the damn beast inside the box by himself. We clearly lost a fine shinobi and a virgin Cherokee, said Danzo. So, are we going to place him in a bingo book? You're mad, Danzo. That beast was similar in power to that of Kyuubi, or if less then similar to power of Eight Tails. Are you mad? Whoever we sent after him will be squashed, and this time Naruto will not show any mercy. He has changed in the 3 months that he stayed in the blood prison. I don't know why and how. As then Tsunmi then said, we clearly betrays the Gaki trust. He will think about all his life through, from what we have put him through. What do you mean? Kushina asked. See, Kushina, his heritage was kept secret until Tsunade became the Hokage. And, well, we didn't treat him well, Inuichi said. What do you mean? When the civilians over there tried their best to make his life hell, we didn't bother to bait an eye on him. How could you do that? Tsunade said. We thought you were our friends, and we thought you were all dead. And because of him, and you didn't leave any specific notes that you were going to be having a child. Even though he was in front of us, blonde hair, blue eyes, we didn't even bother to bat an eye. And now he hates us. Tsunmi said, why are you so upset? He helped me when I was about to be raped. I was drunk at the time, you see. And Kurimaru was ill at home. And I was about to be raped by a civilian. Tsunmi said as everyone gasped. But he helped me. He was stabbed brutally, but I left him there. Didn't even bat an eye. And I regret that till this day. Now all we can do is search for him. And while searching for him, we have to take care of Akatsuki, or what's left of it. Because from whatever sources has tell, some of them are still alive. As the girl downstairs tugged their parents' shirt. Ne, To-chan, Ka-san, when am I going to meet Naruto ni? In due time. Mito-chan, just rest, okay? As they all didn't knew that they were being monitored by a clone in the shadows. It was Naruto's clone, as he saw his sister, so it is true. She isn't in best of health. I will not forgive them, but she has nothing to do with it. But with my suffering. She will be the only one that I spare, and give a second chance. It'll be nice meeting you in the future, sister. Until then, recover well, Naruto said, as he vanished in a yellow flash. Surprised? Well, Naruto was training secretly by himself as well. After learning about his parents' heritage, he wanted to make them proud, but now he wanted nothing to do with them. As time went by, everything went downhill for Konoha when the news spread to the general populace of Konoha that what they did to Naruto, and not only that, to the other villages outside. Well, let's just say Eva laughed on their faces, and Kumo was, well, feeling sorry because Kumo also joined hands with Konoha on this one for their loss. And as for Suna, they were upset. Damn right, threatening to break off their alliance if they couldn't find Naruto within a year. And as for the other minor villages whom they saw Naruto as a hero, well, they broke off their alliances with Konoha. Konoha suffered huge losses. And, well, was not the strongest villager anymore. It was Kumo now. Until an empire appeared out of nowhere 3 years later. Everything went downhill for the elemental nations now. The empire started to grow and grew more stronger. The minor villages, unknown to everyone, the major villages at least, joined hands with it. Vegetable, rice, every one of the countries joined hands with him, even Wave. And everyone was surprised. Because their soldiers who didn't use chakra were quite powerful on their own right. And they looked different, even though they looked like humans. They had pointy ears. They were a race called elves, those who were in story tales only. As the emperor was known to be a kind and just man, and a cruel murderer to those who were his enemies. He established his kingdom above those tyrants' bodies, and he was a kind and just ruler, and a kind king who was loved by all of his peoples and subjects. And many of the villagers, alongside with the villages of, the five elemental villages, had their eyes set on his treasures or his power, what they hold. They wanted them for themselves. Minato, alongside Kushina, at the time had returned to Konoha. They were sad that Jiraiya had died because they didn't even contact Jiraiya. The one they came across was Tsunade, and that was by mistake because you see, Minato and Kushina wanted to lighten their heads and wanted to have a drink until they came across Tsunade. And both of them made Tsunade a promise that she wouldn't reveal to anyone that they were alive, not even to Sarutobi himself. At the time, they didn't knew that Sarutobi died. And after a week or so, Naruto and Jiraiya came along. And the rest is history. As now people started to see that Tsunade wasn't fit to be a Hokage, and nor was Minato, as Kakashi was given the post as the 6th Hokage, much to annoyance of Danzo. As the leader of the Akatsuki, known to be now Madara Uchiha, declared the war on the 5 elemental nations. Now there was more, danger now on them, because Madara Uchiha, for one, was alive, and he declared war on all of the elemental nations. They wanted help, because when the war started, Madara and his forces of White Zetsu were destroying them. On the other side, when Madara tried to invade the kingdom, his forces was disintegrated into nothingness, never to return. No matter how many quantity he sent, 20,000, 50,000, 1 million, they all perished, never returned. And from what its sources told him, the Commander Zetsu told him, none of them even crossed the gates, and all of their, army was alive. And when this news reached the 5 villages, they were quite surprised and amazed by the power that was held by the empire. And some of the villagers, some of the Kages had the meeting together at Kage Summit to discuss about this. As you see, the 5 Kage sitting in Iron Country. So, what are we going to do? Well, I guess we have to send some of our ambassadors to the Empire. We need their help, said Kakashi. As Gaara nodded, yes, we need their help. We cannot win this war unless we have their help. The 10-tail is revived, and it is weak. All they need is the 9 tails, but Naruto, he vanished from the elemental nation. We can't track him, which is good now, because if Madara gets his hands on him, it will be troublesome for us, said Gaara, as everyone nodded at that. As then the 5 Kages said, we all will send one of our persons as representative to the Empire. Why don't we go ourselves? Gaara said. Interesting, but who will lead our villages in the war? We have someone we trusted to pass this post on to, right? As everyone nodded. So, better than them. We have to go. It's now or never. Otherwise we all might die. The forces that destroyed us can't even cross their borders. We have to go there and ask for their help. As they all nodded and left in the dark of night. As after traveling what seemed like a week, they arrived at the gate of the Empire, the main gate that connected the Empire to the elemental nations. It was at a corner of the map of elemental nations, where the Empire rose. As there was a short gate for a small person at the tall gate as well. As Gaara knocked at it, as a guard opened it, what do you people want? We want an audience with your king. We are from the elemental nations. We are the Kages of the 5 villages. I see, so you are representative and leaders of the 5 villages that are known to be the strongest in the elemental nations, right? Said the guard, and they were surprised. Yes, we know everything about your history. You see, our leader, our king himself was from there, until he established this, said the elf. Can we have a meeting with him? We need to talk with him, it's urgent. I'll get you an audience. as the elf opened the door as they all went inside and saw that the kingdom was developed far beyond their reach. They had the advanced technologies, and all of them could fly. At least some of them they saw on brooms, and some of them had giant staffs with a crystal like thing attached to it. What are these? Ah, these are the wands that we use to channel our magic. What is magic? Well, you guys use chakra, right? As they all nodded, we use mana. Mana is a pure form of energy that our leader developed alongside our queen. Queen? Is your leader married? Yes, he is. As May sighed. Another good catch just left. As they all arrived to the giant palace, they were quite surprised. The palace itself was quite huge as their kingdom, and was quite beautiful. It was quite huge as a whole shinobi village in its own right. As they all entered, they saw that the palace was heavily guarded, as was all the walls of the kingdom. The kingdom itself was quite huge. It took them like 2 to 3 hours just to walk up to the main palace as they all entered. And the palace was quite huge from inside, and it was quite beautiful. All 5 of them were quite amazed by it. It seems that the king is quite rich, said Oniki greedily. Don't ever think about it. Our king is what you call a sensor as well. He can sense your emotions. And if he finds out that you have alternative motives, then either you will be thrown out or thrown into prison. Are you threatening us to a war? As the elf laughed. You're joking, right? We can destroy all of you combined if we wanted to. But our king never bothers with you. We are happy where we are. As they entered the king hall, as their presence was announced. Kakashi Harake, Konoha Gakure's Hokage, Raikage, Oniki, Tsuchikage, Mei, Kage of the Kirigakure, and Gara no Sabuko, Kazekage of Suna, have arrived. As they all entered, to see that there was a giant throne there, and sitting on it was surprisingly Naruto Uzumaki himself. Yo, what is it you want, guys? Naruto said, as he jumped down from his throne and rushed towards Gara and hugged him. Hey Gara, how you been? Naruto? Kakashi said, hello Hatake. Naruto said, his face and voice monotone. It's quite surprising to see you all here, Naruto said, turning his head towards his other friends. As he looked towards I hope you found your assassin, because if you didn't, I will find him personally for impersonating me and, well, you don't want to know. I'm sorry, Naruto. We didn't knew that the consequences will be so huge. Well, now you know. So, Naruto said, getting back onto his throne and having them all seated there on guest chairs. What can I do for you? Naruto said, we want your help, our lord, said the Hatake from Konoha. I am not talking to you, Hatake. Sit down. I don't want nothing to do with Konoha or any of you. Kakashi flinched at the coldness in his student's voice as he sat down. Hi. Gara, you can talk. Naruto, my friend, we need your help. I understand if you don't want to help us, but please. Many of us are dying. As Oniki then said, it's quite surprising to see Minato's brat being the king of this whole palace. Are you the one who created it? As Naruto closed his eyes as the temperature in the room dropped. Never mentioned that man's name in my presence. As chills ran down everyone's spine, even Oniki's. You see, I have disbanded my name from them. I don't want anything to do with that family, nor the Namikaze, nor the Uzumakis. They broke their own code, and I don't want to be a part of that clan in which the clan head broke their own code of their clans, which was family above all, ironically. As Onigi shut up and nodded his head. If you want your petty revenge, then take it on him or his family. But mind you, if you ever try to hurt the girl, there will be hell to pay for Eva. And I will make my father's works or Minato's work look like child play, Naruto said threateningly as Oniki nodded, with sweating all over. As then Gar spoke, Naruto, please. Please don't threaten him. We are all here because we are facing war against Madara, and you are the only one left who is a Jinchuriki. They all paused as another figure entered the hall, as the whole palace shook. It was a giant nine-tails fox who glared at them. I see. So Naruto, it seems like your past is catching up to you, he said, chuckling as everyone felt their breath hitched. You freed the Kyuubi? Asked Kakashi. Silence. Kurama over here is the general of my army. What? You made a BG general of your army? Yes, I also placed a seal on him so that he can't be sealed again, ever. But why? You know well that he's a property of Konoha. He isn't property of anyone, Naruto said to Kakashi. As Kakashi just glared at Naruto and sat down. But Naruto, you can't do that. It's dangerous. My people love Kurama and trust him with their life. And I don't see him dangerous as a mindless beast as you all do. I will rescue his family because they are being controlled by a man known as Madara, and he's the one responsible for the destruction of your petty village. Not that I will blame him for anything, because I do have reasons of my own to destroy that village. Ain't that right, Kurama? So do I. I have as well, but we don't want anything to do with you. As then another figure entered. It was a figure with black hair and dark skin. It was Azula, the queen of, well, the elves, on which Naruto ruled now, the first human in the Elfian kingdom. As she said, my love, are you going to help the elemental nations? Yes, my dear, it seems I have to. I see. I can test out my new projects then. As Naruto shivered, oh my god. Well, you have my answer. My wife here is interested in testing her projects, and I'm not going to stop her. And yes, I agree to help you only because Gaara is there and some of my friends are as well. Not in Konoha, but in other villages, Naruto specifically said. As they all left. After a week or so, well, they all returned. And with a letter that Naruto will arrive after a month or so with his army. As we see all of them sitting inside a giant council room, which consisted of all of the shinobi clans from different villages. And some of them now consisted of Naruto's friends as well. As they asked the leaders, so how did the meeting went with the kingdom? Well, it's quite surprising to see that. Sensei, you're not going to believe this. Naruto is the king. What? Some of the elders asked. Takaki is the king of that kingdom? Yes, he's the one who built that kingdom. And he's married as well. Hinata's heart stopped when she heard that. As everyone's eyes went, what? As Neji then stood up, clenching his fist as Hinata was about to cry. Well, you see, he doesn't want anything to do with Konoha, said Gaara as he glared at them, as they all flinched. He doesn't even respect you and all. And he has freed the Kyuubi and placed a seal so it couldn't be resealed ever again. And turns out the Kyuubi is the general of his army, and the people love him and worship him. And the Kyuubi, as everyone was surprised by this. And the only reason they are going to help us is because his wife wants to test out their petty projects, and Naruto wants to help his friends outside Konoha, and Kyuubi wants to rescue his siblings. These are the reasons why he's helping us. Within a month they will be here, as we have to get prepared for the final battle with Madara. As the time passed on, the month went by as both sides, Madara side and the shinobi side, was preparing for one final and full-out battle. As both of them now stood against each other, facing each other in a plain. As the Kages looked at each other, why isn't Naruto here? As the battle began from Madara's side. But suddenly, there was a giant blast as half of the Madara's army was destroyed. As they saw in the air, it was a giant airship made out of metal. As Naruto was standing atop of it, fully armed in a golden suit, and a lion on his chest, with two swords in his hand. He dropped his sword to the ground, and with a lightning flash he appeared there. As so did his army. As everyone was surprised, an army who can use the Raijin Jutsu. It was quite terrifying now. As Naruto then said, "Fight to the death. Death before dishonor. Destroy them," Naruto said, as the Shinobi Alliance didn't move a muscle and watched in awe as the kingdom's army destroyed Zetsus as the Ten-Tail appeared. As it was about to charge a Bijudama at them, but suddenly Kurama appeared with a different form, as with the single sway of its tail, the weakened Ten-Tail's Bijudama was dropped to the side. "You are weak now, and at the same power as mine. I will destroy you." As the Ten-Tail's chains erupted from its body and started to drag Kurama towards it, but to their surprise, Kyuubi's tails cut through the chains. "You cannot see me again, even into yourself. Your plan has failed, Setsu." As Naruto then clapped his hands together and yelled out, "Earth style, Earth Golem," as a giant golem appeared in front of everyone, towering the Kyuubi and the Ten-Tails. "Golem punch!" as Naruto yelled out as the golem punched the Ten-Tails, destroying its eye. As the beast roared and screeched in agony, as Madara was surprised. What is going on? As Naruto jumped to Kyuubi's head and said, "I leave this to you." "Go on, Naruto, I'll deal with this beast and free my siblings once and for all." As Naruto jumped in front of Madara. So you're the one who, well, made my life living hell. I'm honored that you remember me. And honestly, a little bit of surprised as well. I am Madara Uchiha. No, you're not. I met with Madara when I revived him with Edo Tensei. And well, I was surprised to find out that you are alive after all these years. Obito. As everyone flinched after hearing that name. "What do you mean, Naruto?" said Kakashi. "Shut up, Hadake. I'm not talking to you now." As Minato and Kushina jumped down. "Naruto, wait. Shut up. I don't want nothing to do with you. You're dead to me. And I'm to you," Naruto said as he glared back at Obito. "So tell me, Obito, what took over you to do all this?" As the masked person laughed and removed his mask. Well, I have to give you that, Uzumaki. I'm not an Uzumaki, just Naruto." "I see. Naruto then, it is. You figured out. You see? That bastard over there killed her and broke the promise," as Kakashi flinched. I... Shut up, Hadake. You really are worse than trash, killing your own comrades and going on to yell about that teamwork and all that stuff to your own genins. It's quite pathetic, actually. As then Naruto had enough. Shut the fuck up, Naruto said, as with a swift move, Naruto cut him in half, as Obito was surprised. What? I didn't see him even move. You see, that is the 10% of my power. I can destroy all of you I wanted to, alone, alongside your pathetic armies, Naruto said, turning towards the old Shinobi Alliance, as well as the Kages. But some of you consist my friends, not from Konoha, let me clarify that, but from other villages. And that is the only reason you all remain where you stand. And as for the Bijus, as the Ten-Tails was finally destroyed behind them, as the 8 Bijus were freed, they'll be coming with me. What? You can't take them, the Kages roared. Army towards them, as army charged towards them, but halted at Naruto's sign of halt. Or you are willing to go with war with me. Think about it, I just destroyed and decimated its army within seconds, which took you, almost half of your forces? Heed my words, people of elemental nations. We don't want to interfere with your lives, so long as you don't interfere with ours. If you threaten even a civilian of my kingdom, then there will be hell to pay. Blood for blood, eye for an eye. You wanted that, right? You will get that, in full, tenfold more. Naruto said, Army, we are retreating back. Back up and leave. And he turned towards Bijus. Kurama. Well, what do they want, Kurama? Naruto, they are prepared to come back with us. They don't want to be used as... beast or powerhouses again. They have their own minds. They lost their friends, their Jinchurikis. They don't want to be sealed into someone who wants to use their power ever again. I see. As Naruto placed a seal on each and every one of them, you cannot be sealed no matter how hard they try. And this is a barrier shield that will protect you from whoever tries to use a seal or dojutsu onto you. As Kurama and the rest of them shrunk into normal size and left on the ship, as Naruto remained there. You can come out now, Uchiha. As then, in front of them, a figure appeared. It was Sasuke. Dope. I can't believe you made a kingdom, but after killing you, I will be taking that. And then I'm going to destroy the elemental nations and rule over this world. You know you talk too much. Why don't we finish this once and for all, Sasuke? After I'm done killing you, you and your pathetic clan will be out of existence once and for all. The Uchiha gritted his teeth. I'll show you that how pathetic you are in front of the mighty Uchiha, he said after turning into the mighty Susanoo form. As he shot arrow towards Naruto, but Naruto vanished in front of him and appeared inside his Susanoo. Miss me? Naruto roundhouse kicked him as Sasuke was launched out of his Susanoo and inside to the wall of a mountain, causing a huge crater there. As Sasuke got out, and he then yelled out, Kirin! As the clouds above started to gather electricity and a dragon was formed, as Naruto then yelled out, Earth Dragon! As a giant dragon made out of earth rose to the sky, as a sky lightning dragon rose to the ground. Both of them clashed and were destroyed. You're not the only one who developed some jutsus during those years, Sasuke. I myself have some of this stuff in my arsenal. So, how is it going to be? Are you going to fight like a man, or are you going to use your pathetic excuse of ice? As the Uchiha gritted his teeth, as both of them charged at each other with swords. But Naruto moved more swiftly. Sasuke was surprised that his Sharingan couldn't pick his movements, and before he knew it, both of his arms were cut off. Sasuke screamed in pain at the loss of his arms. Now, Uchiha, what are you going to do without those? You pathetic excuse of a shit. As the Uchiha gritted his teeth and yelled out, Amaterus! As Naruto's two blades swung into the air, surprising everyone that the blades moved on their own as Naruto controlled them, as they were plunged into both of his eyes, piercing through them in an X-like form, before cutting his head completely off from the rest of his body, as Uchiha fell to the ground, as Naruto then yelled out, You can't even detect me, nor can your flames, Naruto said, as his clone was the one who burned with the dark flames, as everyone was surprised at the display of speed and power, as they knew that Sasuke was a double S-rank criminal who wanted nothing to do with them, and after they were destroyed, now they knew what he was planning. As his friends were surprised because their Naruto didn't kill. As he looked towards them, Listen up and listen well. I don't and won't tolerate anything against my family, my kingdom, which you aren't a part of anymore. It was because of your own mistakes I became a man who I am today. I must thank you because you opened my eyes. Now I see a true value in those who see value in me. Not for some reasons to be used as tools, but as family and precious people. I choose them carefully now, thanks to you. As that said, Naruto left, as everyone was quite surprised by that. The villagers then formed another meeting, and Naruto's tale was now known in the elemental nations, through and through, and everyone was afraid of the kingdom and their power, and didn't want to enrage Naruto or his kingdom. As Naruto kingdom grew prosper and more beautiful by the each passing year. As after a year or so, Naruto reluctantly, with heavy heart, let his parents inside his kingdom. Why? Because they were crying non-stop at the entrance with their sister who was becoming ill. They didn't bother with her anymore. As Naruto then saw through her memories with her wife's magic and saw that it was because of their parents that she became ill. She was going to be the Jinchuriki first, but she became ill and she couldn't grow anymore. She was stuck inside a 13-year-old body and mindset. It was Naruto's older sister, not little sister. And not only that, she was ill because of them, because of Kyuubi's chakra poisoning, because of their parents' fault. They tested the theory on his sister before using on him, and then took her away because she was ill. And when Naruto saw through their memories, his breath hitched. They were going to let her die like that, and were surprised at how much she lived, and didn't care about her one bit. They cared about him. Naruto was now even more enraged. What the fuck was wrong with his parents? Or his so-called parents? As Naruto threw them out again, never wanting to see them. All he saw was greedy bastards who wanted a son, not a daughter. And yet when they have one, they threw him away and took the one who they didn't want it. Naruto wasn't mad about that, but was mad about his parents and their mindset. And what the fuck was wrong with them? And with the help of Kyuubi, he healed his sister who grew up. And when Naruto told her what was going on, she cried. And well, Naruto was there for her from then on. As she stayed with Naruto, and time went by, the elemental nations, stones was emerged into another war, the fifth shinobi war amongst themselves. And after time went more, 15 years were passed, as there was no village anymore in the elemental nations. It was a myth as more kingdom rose, because they fought against each other so much they destroyed themselves. And Naruto was now an older man. His son, Boruto, was the next king, as Naruto was retired with his wife who was resting there. As this is the story, and this is where I'm going to be leaving this story off, guys. I hope you like this short movie, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this is Apollo